on at the reunion, and I really enjoyed this reunion, y'all. I mean, I'm thinking about this season. I think this was one of the best seasons. I think there was a lot of twists and turns, a lot to talk about. I enjoyed this season, and I enjoyed this reunion. And I am calling this reunion Love, Lies, Forgiveness, Bipolarism, and Narcissism. Can you guess which labels go with which couple? I'm going to do this all in one video. I'm not going to split it up between the different couples, so it might be a little long, but please bear with me, and I'm going to go through these couples just like they went through them on the reunion. First of all, just like Dr. Nicole said, or Egypt said, you know, she wants to commend these couples for their courage for coming on here, because let me tell you, it takes a lot of courage or something, I don't know, courage, craziness, or something to come on this show and show their lives like they did. We sure did see a lot, and I know all of us got a whole lot of opinions about everything, and I got my own, and I'm going to share them with you here today. So first, we're going to talk about Shay and Alfonso, and I'm calling Shay and Alfonso the forgiveness couple, because that's exactly what happened here. We was left hanging last week when we heard that Alfonso finally told Shay everything, and he finally admitted that there was some infidelity, and it sounds like just what I thought it was. It sounds like it was some overlap in the beginning of the relationship, probably with Shay and that baby mama. So he finally told Shay off camera, behind closed doors. She said they broke up for a couple of months, but guess what? They got right back together. First of all, like I told you before, Alfonso loves Shay, and I believe Shay loves Alfonso, and also Shay loves the lifestyle. She likes that 5.5 carat diamond ring. She likes the helicopters. She likes the VIP booth. She likes the bottle service. She likes the lifestyle, hanging with the Rick Ross crew and wherever else kind of business that Alfonso's in. He says they got whole business together. Shay was like, I'm going to get over this overlapping that happened years ago. I'm going to forgive Alfonso for it, and I'm going to move forward because he's offering me the life I really want. I want a baby. I want a family. I want a lifestyle. And she made a decision to give Alfonso forgiveness. She said, you know what? Let's wipe the slate clean. Let's move forward. I got what I want. I'm talking to the mama. She didn't mention the baby mama, but it sounded like everybody spent the holidays together. Everything is good. The chemistry is good. And Shay made a decision that she was going to forgive Alfonso and she was going to move forward. And I really don't have no problems with it. You know, I'm going to tell all married women and girlfriends, you got to really change your game out here in these streets now when it comes to men, women, DMs, text messages, all this other kind of stuff. Because if you keep reacting to these DMs, text messages, different things, the way people reacted to this sort of stuff in the past, you probably will never be married or have a girlfriend. Because let me tell you, it goes on everywhere. It's so much access to men and women. Men can access women, women can access men so easily that if that becomes your criteria for getting rid of people, you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. That girl that went out with Alfonso, she cute. She really is cute. But she was saying, you know what? It wasn't really given a fair chance because Alfonso was really just scared of you, Shay. And what Shay did was Shay bucked up and Shay said, oh, what do you mean? This big old man is afraid of me? That's not what you do, Shay. You say he absolutely is afraid of losing me. And nothing is wrong with that. Stop disagreeing with these women. Tell them they're correct. Say, you're absolutely correct. He probably was going on that date being on his best behavior because he's absolutely afraid of losing me. And guess what? Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with having a man that's afraid of losing you. I would rather have a man that's afraid of losing me than a man who could care less about losing me. So stop arguing with these women when they're trying to get up underneath your skin. Married women and girlfriends, y'all need to be a little bit more poised when you talk to these women. And I'm going to get to Charlana and Otis as well. But I'm happy Shay and Alfonso stayed together, to be honest with you. I'm happy that they were able to get past whatever happened in the beginning of the relationship, because I do think that these two are very much in love. I think that they're compatible, and I think they can have a long and healthy marriage. Shay's still going to have some work to do, and so is Alfonso, but I think they should do the work inside of marriage, and they should go for it. They should go for having a family. Now, Otis and Charlana, let's get to them. I know it's going to be a whole lot of discussion talking about why did Charlana get married to Otis when he's a liar, love and lies. That's what I'm going to call them. I know people are going to be like, she only married him because she's pregnant. Back in the day, we used to call this sort of a shotgun marriage. But you know what? Maybe we need to bring shotgun marriages back. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, what's so wrong with them? Because this new system we got out here, having babies, not getting married, not having families, that system ain't working either. The system where women are having kids and they don't have no man around to support them, no financial support, nothing. Kids out here with fatherless, without no fathers, coming out with low self-esteem, not having any direction, not having any discipline. Guess what? That system isn't working either. Black wealth, black family wealth is divided between two households because mother and father don't even know how to get along. So not only is your wealth and your legacy being jeopardized, your kids' mental health and well-being is also jeopardized. And stop telling me that kids are better off in one-parent households than two-parent households. No, it's not true. Sure, they're better off if you bickering and fighting in the house all day. Sure, no kids need to see that. But why can't men and women figure out a way to get along so that everybody can win? Why does it have to be that the kids have to suffer because the husband and the wife or the mother and father can't figure out how to get along? So I commend Charlana for staying with Otis. I commend Charlana for giving her baby a chance to have a mother and father in the home. I commend these two for making a decision above and beyond themselves and making a decision that helps the family as opposed to looking at their individual selves. Once you have kids, you have a higher duty. And it seems like nowadays people don't do that. It's almost like it's all about me and my happiness. Well, what about everybody else? Why is everything about your happiness? Did Otis lie about probably meeting that girl in the parking lot or those? Well, he told her about the DMs, but did he lie about meeting the girl in the parking lot? I think he did lie. And guess what? I think he lied, and I think he should have lied. He should have lied on national TV. He should not have told pregnant Charlana, 7 months pregnant, that yeah, he actually did meet that girl in the parking lot. He should save that for another time and tell Charlana later. But did he lie? He did lie. And he should take the bullet. He should be the one sitting up on camera looking crazy, looking foolish. He can look like a liar. He can look like everything else. But what he should have done was he shouldn't have spilled the truth on TV and told her then. So do I have a problem with Otis lying on national TV? I absolutely do not. Because in the end, he needed to do that. He needed to do that to protect his baby mama, his fiance, on national TV. He should have lied. And another thing, I really think that Otis really loves Charlana. I really do. So I don't consider this a full-blown shotgun wedding. And because I think that Otis really loves Charlana. Now, does it mean that it put more importance on them working things out because there's a baby involved? Absolutely. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with a little bit of pressure on you? Sometimes people need some pressure on them to make the right decision. And everybody talking about Otis is trapping Charlana. Listen, all you women out here with babies and didn't marry the father, did you try to trap the men? Why are we saying that? Why is it that Otis tried to trap Charlana, but you women didn't try to trap men? This is a double standard. We also assuming that Charlana is perfect, acting like Charlana is the only one forgiving Otis. Otis got some stuff that he probably need to forgive Charlana for too. She ain't Saint Elizabeth, Saint Mary. We saw her all season. She got things she need to work on too. She got some pettiness involved in her too. So just like Charlana gonna need to forgive Otis, Otis gonna need to forgive Charlana too. If I was a baby, I'd rather have Charlana as my mother, a mother who decided, you know what, I'm gonna put my ego and my pride above what's best for my baby, and I'm gonna give this relationship a chance. Because yeah, my man might have lied about meeting a woman in a parking lot for whatever reason, whatever they talked about. But I'm not willing to throw away my child's whole future over that. Charlana, you could be my mama, as opposed to women talking about they gonna get rid of a man because he lied on national TV and didn't want to embarrass me and didn't tell me that he met this girl in a parking lot. And I don't know what they talked about. What? Even if she performed some sexual favors on him, I'm like, that's her problem. That's her problem. If she was gonna come to a parking lot and perform sexual favors for a man that she knew was already wrapped up in another woman, that ain't my problem. That's your problem, Milan. And just like Shay forgave Alfonso, Charlana gonna need to forgive Otis for meeting that girl in the parking lot. The same type of forgiveness that Shay gave Alfonso or whatever, you're gonna need to meet him. You're gonna need to forgive Otis for meeting that girl in the parking lot. Because let me tell you, the story you don't want to tell your child when your child gets old enough to talk and say, why didn't you and my daddy make it? And you say, well, because your daddy lied about meeting a girl in a parking lot. That shit sounds crazy. So you're going to tell your child, I gave up on a whole relationship because your father met a woman in a parking lot. Good luck with that. Milan was really doing too much. If she really didn't care, I'm not for sure why she was going so hard in the episode. I have no problem for Milan telling the truth and what the real truth was. I actually don't fault her for that. But the part where I started to feel a little some way about Milan was when she started going on telling Charlana, you're delusional, he's a liar. Why is it your job to convince Charlana to do what you want her to do? Why all of a sudden, Milan, are you acting like you Charlana's best friend and you want to convince her to leave Otis because he's a liar and a cheater? Why are you so invested in that? Deliver your truth, say the truth, and keep walking. But this thing that side chicks and these women want to do to convince married women and fiancés to behave the way they want to behave, that's another level of control. And stop letting these women control you, wives and girlfriends and fiancés. Stop letting them. Sometimes I think Milan just wanted a reaction out of Charlana. What was she looking for? Was she looking for Charlana to get mad, have stress on the baby, tell Otis, you're a liar, you're a cheat, I'm going to leave you? What was Milan looking for? And that's what I'm saying. What Charlana should have done, Charlana should have sat there and said, if he met you in the parking lot, so what? You want to ask yourself, why was you meeting a man in the parking lot? Why was you meeting Otis in the parking lot when you already knew Otis really wanted to be with me? Why was you doing that? Why do you meet a man in the parking lot? That means you were being hidden. What was you coming there to do? Exchange sexual favors? I don't know. What did you talk about in the parking lot? Put that girl back on the defense. What's happening is a lot of times they want to point the finger and say what the man is doing wrong, and the man is wrong, but they never want to look at what they're doing wrong. Why are you meeting a man in a parking lot? What's wrong with you? So Charlana don't need to be on the defense. She's the innocent one here. The two problem people are going to be Milan and Otis. Let them go at it. Women and wives, stay out of that. Sit on the background and let him defend himself, and he can go at it with that woman. But you don't need to jump in the middle of that. Wives, girlfriends, fiancés, you better take a class on marriage intrusion, because if your man is halfway decent looking, has a little bit of money, has a little bit of looks, a nice car, you're going to get what I call marriage intrusions. You're going to get women who's going to shoot their shot at your man, because it happens more and more often. Women are more assertive, more aggressive. They're more bolder. They're less shy. And let me tell you, they have no problem. So your defense or whatever you do cannot always be attacking a woman or whatever. You can't do that, because you're going to find you doing that all the time. It's the same problem Shay had with Alfonso. Women, you better come up with another tactic, because it happens all the time. Your best answer is going to be, I don't care, settle it with my husband if you got a problem with the way he treated you. If Milan felt used because she was willing to meet a man in a parking lot and he was going to use her for something and she got caught up by it, and now she's mad, and so now she wants to take out her anger on Charlana, because she wants Charlana to be the one to punish Otis because she can't punish Otis. A lot of times that's what's going on. The woman is mad because the husband or the whatever used and abused her, and now she can't punish the man because the man don't really want her, so she tries to get the woman, the wife, all riled up so the wife can punish the man. This is, women, don't be a pawn in these side chick games. Now we're going to move on to the biggest kahuna of them all, Shorty and Kenny. And let me tell you, we got two big problems on our hand. We got Kenny, who I believe is bipolar. I really do. And we got Shorty, who I'm convinced is a narcissist. Poor Kenny showing up like he was just going to Costco. Did he forget the date of the reunion? Kenny ain't got no suit. He didn't have a suit to be able to wear to this reunion. When Shorty was packing up them trash bags last week, there was no suit in that bag he could have taken to the cleaners and gotten pressed, because he showed up like he was going to Costco. I really believe Kenny is bipolar. If you saw him, all that sweating he was doing, all that nervousness he had. Kenny looked like he lost a lot of weight. He looked very skinny. I hope Kenny ain't hitting the bottle or something else. He's probably in some depressive stage. I'm sure he went through a depression stage in his bipolarism when Shorty finally cut him loose. I really believe Kenny is bipolar and he needs medical attention. His obsessive behavior, the stalking of Shorty, and I'm going to tell you, I believe those stories that Shorty said. I think it's all dangerous. I think Kenny needs a lot of help. But let me tell you, a sign when you know you're dealing with a narcissist, besides I knew that Shorty was a narcissist, another sign is when you feel the need to bring notes and you also feel the need to record a person. These are classic signs you're dealing with a narcissist. And when Kenny showed up with them notes, that told me something. One is, he said to himself, my thoughts get jumbled up. That's part of his bipolarism. but it also is because a person is spinning you around and you can't keep your thoughts straight, and you got to write down the notes because this person is all over the place. And that's what Shorty does. Shorty tells a lot of stories. I even had to take notes because I know when I have to take notes and I can't just listen to your story, I know I'm dealing with a narcissist, because what they're doing is they're trying to frame and bend the story to always be in their favor. Narcissists are formidable opponents. One is they love to fight. They love to be right. They never admit wrong. They never have accountability. And this is all Shorty. They're self-centered. They're arrogant. They have no empathy towards other people. And they have excessive need for admiration. This is Shorty. Shorty is the narcissist, and she was dealing with a bipolar man who is Kenny, and this was explosive. It's a horrible, horrible match, and I'm so happy these two got away from each other because they're both abusive towards each other. Kenny is absolutely shouldn't be with Shorty, and Shorty shouldn't be with Kenny. All that stalking that Kenny was doing, where she was talking about calling her every day for 4 months, she had to change her telephone number or block him or whatever. She had to block him on social media. She had to do all these things. I believe it all. I believe he did it all. I believe he's bipolar, and I believe that she should have done it. But don't cut off too quick, because the things I believe about Kenny, let me tell you what I believe about Shorty. Like I said, she's a narcissist and she's manipulative. First of all, I do believe that Shorty was only making $25,000 driving an Aztec. And let me tell you, if you only making $25,000 and you have a child, what Shorty said, and they dated 3 years ago, which means Shorty was 37, are you broke? If you only make $25,000 and you have a child, you are broke. And I absolutely do believe that Shorty got with Kenny to pay 50-50 on those bills, because I think she was struggling financially and she wanted a roommate with benefits. And that's how Kenny moved from Baton Rouge to Georgia, because I do believe that Shorty lured him in because she needed someone to go 50-50 with on those bills. Now, does that mean I believe that she deserves what Kenny's bipolarism? Absolutely not. But she did not count on Kenny being bipolar, and she chewed off more than she could handle, because let me tell you, this whole time, Shorty was calm, cool, and collected. This is why I know Shorty's been here before. Shorty was calm, cool, and collected this entire reunion. She was not rattled by Kenny or anything, because she's been here before. Shorty is a narcissist, and she's also manipulative. One thing about narcissists, they never answer your question. Whenever you answer a question and you try to pin them down, they always pivot to something else, and they always blame someone else. So let me tell you what Shorty did. Even when Egypt kept trying to pin down Shorty, every time Egypt asked her a question, Shorty never answered the question. She pivoted. So when Egypt said to her, why did you say that Kenny didn't have a job and he didn't have any money and all this other kind of stuff? You know what Shorty said? Shorty said, I never said that. I never said he was a bum and didn't have a job. Girl, we watched this whole season. So now you want to say that all of a sudden, because you didn't say those exact words, that wasn't the image you was trying to portray? You absolutely was trying to portray that image. Just like Egypt said, sometimes you don't have to say the words exactly. You can paint an entire picture and we know exactly what you're saying. So once again, there was Shorty pivoting, not answering the question directly, not having any empathy and saying, you know what, I shouldn't have done that. Because the truth of the matter is, Shorty could have just stuck with her story, and that the fact that she didn't want to be with Kenny anymore because he wasn't paying bills or paying bills on time, and that he was bipolar. If she had just stuck to that story, everyone would have been on her side 100%, because actually nothing is wrong with that. The problem people have with Shorty is her manipulative behavior and her lying. So even when they said, well, Kenny says you only make $25,000, did Shorty give an answer and say, yeah, that's true? No, you know what she said? Well, how does he know that unless he's going through my personal information? That's non-responsive. Answer the question. Did you only make $25,000 trying to raise a child, and that's why Kenny had to come live with you to help you pay some bills? But instead of answering the question, she pivots to what Kenny did wrong. And you know what? He probably was wrong, but it's still no accountability. So when Egypt said, well, why did you come on the show? Why do you just leave? Then Shorty go ahead. Guess what her response was to that? Well, I was trying to leave some breadcrumbs. Breadcrumbs? So why did you even come on this show? So then she goes around, I was trying to leave some breadcrumbs. No, why did you come on the show if this show was about put a ring on it? Because she says, I wasn't going to be able to leave the relationship without any consequences. Okay, what consequences? Well, consequences were he was going to go on social media and berate me and say mean things about my former employer and my current employer. Okay, so you stayed with him because you didn't want him to go on social media and say mean things about you. So that's why you stayed with him, because you was afraid that he was going to go on social media? No. She says, no, he did go on social media. Well, I don't understand. How can you stay with someone if you're afraid of the consequences, but the consequences already happened? That means he ain't got nothing to blackmail you over. If he already did it, why are you still with him? See, that doesn't make any sense, but that's what a narcissist does. They spin you around, they say things and you don't think. How can you say you're afraid of consequences when the consequences already happened? Well, then she switches and says, oh, well, I came on this show because I wanted to get Kenny some help. Okay, so now you come on the show to get Kenny some help. Okay, we're going to go with that now, Shorty. But now I'm confused because when Kenny was going on these dates, you was actually trying to sabotage the dates. So if you was coming on this show to pair Kenny up with another woman, why then did you interfere with his dates? Why were you sabotaging his dates? Because if your goal was to pair him up with another woman so he could leave, I would think you'd be cheering him on the dates. But you were sabotaging dates. Once again, a narcissist. And she said, well, I came on the show because, put a ring on and you supposed to decide do you want to get married or move your own or move in a different direction. And Egypt said, well, it looks like you had already made your mind up before you came on the show, so there really was no decision. No, well, yeah, I had my mind up. Well, that's what we're saying. If your mind was already made up that you wanted to leave Kenny, why come on the show? You just told us it was because you want to what? Hook Kenny up with another woman, but then you interfere with the dates? You also said you were scared because you were afraid of the consequences because he was going to go on social media and do this. Well, he had already done that. What are you talking about, Shorty? The answer is just what Kenny said. She came on this show for clout chasing. It's exactly what she came on the show for. It was for clout chasing because just like narcissists, they love to be above everybody else. They love the attention. She was willing to come on this show for the clout, but what she didn't bargain for was there would be so many people who actually felt empathy towards Kenny. Even though Kenny is a bipolar, he crazy, she needs to get away with him. She didn't count on the fact that there would be people out here in this audience who would also look at her and see things wrong with her, and that's where her whole plan went awry. She was hoping to come on this show, use Kenny to get on the show to clout chase, and she would come away looking good. She was not banking on she was going to look just as bad. Even when Kenny said he felt tricked and set up, she said, no, that's not true. It is true. You just said you brought Kenny on the show to hook him with other women so you could somehow get away from him. That is trick and sabotage. You did not tell Kenny, hey, come on, put a ring on it so I can break up with you. So you did trick him. So why are you now saying you didn't trick him? You did. Even when Egypt said, well, Shorty, do you have any criticism for yourself? Anything you could have done differently? You know what she said? That's non-responsive. She said, well, Kenny likes to date people out of his league. That's not what I'm talking about. Once again, when someone's asking you about yourself, what you did wrong, what you could do differently, her answer is still about what Kenny did and what Kenny does. Kenny is bipolar and he doesn't have the mental aptitude to deal with a person like a narcissist. Let me tell you, very few people are skilled at handling narcissists, and Shorty is a narcissist. So if you got twisted around with Shorty's explanations, you got bit by the narcissist. Now, I know Shorty did a whole interview with Crystal XO. I didn't watch the interview yet. It's about an hour long. I'm going to watch it probably the day or tomorrow, and I'm going to do a video on it probably by Monday. Please come back and check on that video because I'm quite sure that Shorty showed a lot more of her hand. And I'm going to tell you, I bet you when I watch that video, I'm going to see a lot more narcissistic tendencies and a lot of changing of the story. Because this video that Shorty's doing now with Crystal XO, remember, this video was coming after the show has aired and she's been able to see all these comments. And I better believe that when she comes on this Crystal XO video, she's going to have some different answers or some better answers than what she's had when she was caught flat-footed. She's going to have time to think about it because Shorty and Kenny were down in the DMs all season long on these YouTube videos, fighting with people, defending themselves. Shorty was in everybody's DMs, including mine, and she was out here trying to fight all these YouTube bloggers, trying to set the record straight about everything. So it's going to be interesting to see this Crystal XO, and I'm going to do a whole video on it, but I'm quite sure that Kenny is bipolar and Shorty is a narcissist. But that's it, y'all. Catch me on the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.